Coach Devin here. We're talking plant-based diets today. Are they good? Are they bad? And my thoughts on all of them. Before we get going, please click the thumbs up down below, subscribe, and I've also put together a great free at-home workout that you can do. Requires no gear. It is in the description. Click that link and you can download it for free. All right, plant-based diets. They are all the fad lately. Everybody and their dog is talking about how they're plant-based. I'm plant-based athlete, plant-based this, plant-based that, whatever. All right, so let's talk plant-based. And look, here's the deal for me. I am a big fan of anything that's going to make you more healthy. If you're a guy that goes to, or a girl that goes to McDonald's 3 times a day, and you swap to a plant-based diet, you are going to see positive changes and you're going to be much healthier. Those are the facts. Period. Undisputed. That's how it is. If your diet is horrible and you've been a crazy idiot and you're eating junk food every day and you swap to plant-based, you're going to see some good results. I mean, in reality, if your diet is poor, but not atrocious, and you swap to plant-based, you'll also see some changes. So does plant-based work? Yeah, if your diet is awful, 100% plant-based can work for you. But let's be clear, plant-based is not the be-all, end-all perfect diet out there. And I am not a fan of anything that brags and rants about being perfection. That's the problem with diets in general these days. I'm a fan of sustainability. I think it needs to be something that you can do long-term period to be more healthy. I don't like these one-off fads. So does plant-based work in general? It can, but the long answer goes more like this. The thing to remember about plant-based diets are there's a couple different reasons for doing them. First off, you have a moral and ethical problem with animals dying. Listen, I'm on board with that. If that's your thing, that's your thing. I'm not going to argue or try to engage you in that sphere, because in reality, that's a personal choice. I grew up on a farm. We grew up eating meat. I don't have an issue with eating meat. In fact, I eat meat in my diet. I have no problem with that, morally or ethically. That's just as me. Doesn't need to be you. If you're doing a plant-based diet based on ethical choices, hey, fill your boots, dude. That's on you. Whatever you want to do, do it. And nothing I say here, scientifically or otherwise, is going to change your mind for that. What the thing I have a problem with plant-based diets are, there is a buttload of stuff out there now with and I say pseudo documentaries, because in reality they are ignoring a lot of evidence, saying that plant-based diets will do everything from cure cancer to make you better looking, to enlarge your penis, to make you, I don't know, more attractive to the opposite sex, to, I don't know, save the planet. There's a billion things out there with these pseudo documentaries. Are they real? Listen, I gotta tell you, most of that stuff is fairly subjective. And there's always some snake oil salesman that wants to say some crap. That's just life. That's how things work. So plant-based with the documentary side of things, and people are like, Devin, have you seen this documentary on, you know what? I love documentaries. However, you have to take some of the plant-based documentaries with a grain of salt, because they are trying to sell you a product, i.e. they want you to buy their diet program, or they're trying to get you to agree that this is going to be the greatest thing since sliced bread. Look, diets in general, plant-based diets specifically right now, which is what we're talking about, are they the greatest thing in the world? Look, no, probably not. In reality, you need to have protein in your diet, and that is the problem with plant-based diets. Getting enough protein is tough. It is hard for people who exercise on a regular basis, or quite frankly, people who don't exercise on a regular basis. It's tough to get enough protein, especially in North American culture. We eat a lot of carbohydrates and a lot of fat and not a lot of protein. And guess what? Your body grows, the building block of every muscle cell is protein. If you can't, put enough protein in your diet, you're not going to progress. You're not going to be strong. There's a number of things that happen with that. The other thing to remember with a plant-based diet is, so number one is protein. Are you getting enough protein? Much harder. I mean, you can do it. It's not easy, but you can do it. It's doable. You just have to put in a lot more time and effort. And number two, just because something is vegetarian and or vegan does not make it healthy. And that's something a lot of people don't get. They're like, oh, it's vegetarian. Okay, but it has a ton of fat and it has a ton of sugar or, whatever in it, usually high-end sugar carbohydrate situation. And you're eating enormous amounts of carbs and or fat and getting very little protein. So is that going to make you fit? Nope, that actually is going to make you unfit. So just because something is vegan and or vegetarian does not make it healthy. Are you jumping out of bed in the morning and you're having a big salad with, beans and legumes in it? Okay, that's a pretty healthy choice. That's a healthy choice. Are all vegetarians and vegans doing that? No. Lots of them are eating cookies that are vegetarian cookies. You know what? I got news for you. Vegetarian cookies are not healthy for you. Period. End of discussion. You can argue it all day long, but the science is not on your side. Vegetarian cookies not going to help you. And vegan stuff is not necessarily by definition healthy. So those are the two things that spring to mind for me with plant-based diets, vegetarians, vegans. A, are you getting enough protein? B, is the food you're eating actually healthy? If the food you are eating is healthy, good on you. Well done. Congratulations. Awesome. That's incredible. But a lot of times the vegetarian prepackaged crap that we see on the shelves, anything prepackaged is going to last a long time on the shelf, is going to last a long time in you. Those are the facts. That's how it works. So if you can't understand that and or you're too lazy to really put the time and effort into being a vegetarian and or vegan, you're not going to be fit. There's a lot of fat, overweight, unhealthy vegetarians and vegans out there. Lots of them. I know several people that became vegetarian, said, wow, I'm going to lose a lot of weight, and didn't lose not an ounce. And the reason is their food actually got worse, and now they're weaker because of it, because their protein levels aren't good. Look, being a vegetarian and vegan, being plant-based means that it is a lot of hard work. It is a lot of work in food prep. Period. End of discussion. If you're willing to put in the hard work in food prep, yes, you can be very healthy. If you're a pro athlete or, independently wealthy and you have the money to have a chef come in and do all your food for you, good for you. Like, congratulations. Those two things can make you much more healthy. But if you're the normal person like me, to put in the time and effort into plant-based can be very challenging, and it won't necessarily get you where you want to go. I will say this, I've trained lots of people who are vegetarian and vegans. One of the things I noticed are they tend to be weaker, they tend to be less fit. That's just, and that's subjective from my point of view, but that's what I've seen in 26 years of training. They tend to have that stuff. Yes, morally, you're happy with the choice. That's great. But you do, if you want to be doing it for health, if you're doing it for health reasons, period, end of discussion. This is a health reason situation for you. That's great. Do it for health reasons, but then you have to put in the time and the effort. It is doable. You can do it, but it's going to take you some time and effort to get more fit, just like anything in life, and it's going to take work. That's the bottom line with plant-based diets. So when it comes right down to it, if you're willing to put in the time and effort for a plant-based diet, yes, you can be healthy, but don't eat prepackaged crap all day. Just because something says vegan doesn't mean it's healthy. You actually could be less healthy eating plant-based if you're not, careful about it. Again, I have a great free at-home workout. Requires no weights at all. It is in the description. You can download it for free. Have yourself an amazing day, and don't fight the awesome.